Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we discuss everything in relationship and love. And I'm your host, Franca. Tonight on the show, I have Jacinta Powell and Chente Okoli. Gestures?
Yeah,
I don't want to talk. Anytime I did near you, I did suspect something. Well, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
It doesn't feel like I saw you on Monday, though.
Oh, well, it looks like
It
it's
looks like
been a
I'm just
long
seeing you.
time.
Yeah, it's been like a long
like,
time. You
yeah,
seem
after.
distant from me.
Yeah.
Hello, Chente. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. So, firstly, I wanted to compliment your hair. It is so like the way it sits perfectly on your head, it complements your skin color. Every single you
I'm getting,
are. Oh
I'm
my
getting into
God.
the vibes.
Yes, I see that. I see that. I see that. You look good. Your hair is
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Chente, what's up now? I've
No.
been trying to reach you. You just did me wanting on Monday. What's going on?
Oh, okay. So, I made a trip, right?
Okay.
You know, some baby boy things now. We went to go and do some self-care, So I did travel and I came in yesterday.
It says baby boy
I know,
things.
right?
This
Hi,
boy,
Yes,
Chente.
now.
this
How are
boy.
you? Hi, Chente. How are you?
So what do you guys
Hi,
think?
Jess. Pretty as ever. It's good to
Mwah.
see you.
Thank you.
So what do you guys think of today's conversation? The true definition of a good
Hmm.
wife.
I think that the people that we were meant to bring into this conversation, they are not here,
E.g.
to be honest. The people,
E.g.
the Igbo men, the front seats, they are not here.
Oh
So,
my
but do we
God.
have any Igbo guy? There's no Igbo person here.
No, 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 no. I don't mean like
Literally.
Literally.
part of the guest. I mean like the Igbo men, like the
Okay, so
people
no,
that
no.
are meant to be
But
hearing
guess what?
or
But
even be
no, but
here.
guess what? Funny enough, it's not just the Igbo men, Chente.
True,
Yes, it's not
true,
just the
yeah,
Igbo men.
true.
Because do you know what triggered this
I
conversation?
agree.
So what happened was I saw two videos. In fact, I think can we play those videos? I saw two videos on social media and I saw them. I was like, what is this? In fact, one of the videos had Femi and Emmanuel. Can we play the
Hmm.
videos, please? That triggered.
Femi, is that what's your definition of a good wife? A woman that will not ask questions. A woman that will not hold you accountable. A woman that will keep quiet when you cheat on her. A woman that will keep quiet when you disrespect her, when you treat her poorly, when you abuse her, when you misbehave. A woman that will accept it, that will be quiet. You are looking for a mumu. A woman that cannot hold you accountable. That's what you are looking for. That's your own definition of a good woman. Mr. Emmanuel, you lie. You lie. If you want a good woman, a good wife is going to hold you accountable. A good wife will hold you to a high standard. A good wife will expect love, respect, care, honor, trust, good character from you. A good wife will demand that you are responsible. That's who a good wife is. A good wife will want you to become a better man. You need to change your mindset. You need to change your mindset. You are welcome.
Chente,
Mm-hmm.
Jacinta. This was the video that triggered this conversation.
Hmm.
So I saw it. There's a second video. They'll post that one later. But this one, I saw it and you know what I did? I posted it and I wanted comments. I said, please share your. You can see the time. It started from morning. This is one. We had like seven. Yeah, seven messages. Oh, I think every marriage is special and should have its own principle and guiding rules. But this is the blank. But there's a general blanket of ideas that it should, which is the problem. So society has laid, you understand, what a marriage should be. My own ideology of Allah is allowing a person you have chosen to be their being themselves in all truth and fairness, and accepting you as well. That's one. I totally disagree. Marriage has and will always be a partnership as long as two people are involved and they have their own rules to play in the relationship. What might make it feel like ownership could be when the roles are not balanced. This one said, I believe the extra things we bother about in relationship, they're not relevant. I now asked, I said, so you agree that the institute of marriage and partnership has lost its real purpose? And he said, he said, yes, I totally believe that. Marriage has become ownership and not partnership for many. The common concept and ideology behind marriage is a big scam. A package sold over and over again. The contract should expire every 5 years.
I agree with this
with
one.
options to renew. I knew you will agree with that. I watched my father act in a totally different part. And honestly, I don't blame him. He did as much as he knew. Right from childhood, I made up my mind to be different, and I walked towards it. Thankfully, God is helping me to lead better in accordance to his own description on marriage. I am both the head and a partner in my own marriage. I also understand that headship comes with great responsibilities to the point of sacrificing for your partner and most importantly for your kids. A man in the home is both a king and a priest.
I agree.
The concept of submission in marriage is very easy if you have a partner who is willing to sacrifice his life for you.
I don't.
The problem with marriage, especially in our African society, is that they train the men to be the lord and master right from young age. And when he is grown, you want to mold him to a good husband.
Okay, I don't agree that he has to sacrifice his life, though, for you.
No, what she's saying, she's saying submissiveness. A woman, so his own opinion is of a woman that would do her best to live the best life she can for herself first and also for her family. That's his own definition of a good wife. I think that's about what we have. Yeah, that's about what we have. So what the lady was speaking about was that submission. For me to be submissive to you,
you have to sacrifice your life.
do you understand what she's saying? You have to be ready. So what she means, not particularly literally your life.
But that word was too strong.
Yeah, so sacrifice in the sense.
Life.
So maybe she missed it. Yeah. No, but what she was saying, what she was saying is, I need to know that you're invested.
Of course, but not your life. Yes.
That's what she meant. Not that you would. But Jacinta,
true.
Will you take a bullet for me? That's what she's asking. Is that not killing yourself? That's what it means to say sacrifice your life. That means you take a bullet for me.
First of all, let's ask this question.
I think, right?
Who? Okay.
I think that I also said this, right, in like I think I had mentioned this the last time that I think that was last week Wednesday or so, right, where I was like, I think that I will only be submissive to you, right, if I see that you have my best interest at heart.
Simple.
Do you understand? Like, I would not just submit to somebody that I know that will go and throw me inside the gutter. Is that before I submit to you, I need to understand that you have my best interest at heart. Is that you would think of me in every decision that you make. It is not going to be you first, right? Or rather, in every scenario, in every time you want to make a decision, in every time you want to do something, you would always think of me and have my best interest at heart. That is only the time where I will say, okay, I'm going to be submissive to this man because I know that he truly cares and he truly loves me.
Okay, so that is sacrifice your life. Take a bullet.
When I talk about mirroring each other.
Yes.
Yeah, you say you're going to send me to Kenya for 10 years.
Yes.
Now you're saying the same thing indirectly.
So I get what
that's what I was trying to
that's
say.
What you're trying to say.
Yeah,
So,
you must mirror your energy. You know, it has to be back and forth.
But you say you don't agree.
No.
With the
terminology.
language.
But when you when you told me that literally that's not what she was. Yeah, but then I understood what it was.
Okay, so what you're going to say?
Look at what I want to say. Yes. First of all,
who started this institute?
Not even that. You were asking who's a good wife. Yeah. Are you even a wife material? First of all, who is a wife material?
Nobody.
What is a wife material? How many years do I need to have?
Yeah.
How many years do I need material? How many years do I need to have?
How many years do I need to have before I'm called a wife material? How many?
But I would say that, being a wife, so who's a wife, being a wife is a choice. And I cannot be a wife to everyone. I will pick who I want to be a wife to, depending on, like I said, what is being
The
given.
energy we're giving to each other.
Yes, what we're exchanging. What is in place for me to even consider being a wife to someone. Because someone can ask me, marry me, and I'll tell you, sorry, I'm not interested in marriage. And someone else will ask me, I'll say, yes, I'm interested in marriage. So when someone tells you I'm not interested in marriage, it's about the person doesn't see you as someone they want to settle down with. That's just what it is. So just, he's not ready. No, it's not ready for you. That's the case most of the time. So don't get it twisted. So if you come my way and I tell you, I don't want to get married, please, I'm not even thinking about it. Just know that it's you.
We'll talk after the show. I'm
Which
not sending
show?
you to Ikeja. I'm sending you to me.
Yes, so now let's
You
go
know
to
why I
good
say that?
wife.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree,
that to
I
Ikeja. She
agree.
knows how to manipulate them at Ikeja.
I agree.
Now let's go.
20 sessions.
Now let's go to
Okay, so
being a good wife. Yeah,
Yeah.
who's a good wife, right? Okay, so first of all, why do people get married? What is the main principle of marriage? It is to be happier. Babes, there's nothing else. It's to be happier with someone you can share your life with, to do life with in a happy way. That's the principle of marriage. And when that is not there, there's a problem. Now, you cannot expect to have a woman who is, because you say who's a good wife, who's a good wife. Yes, a good wife is someone who is supposed to, be respectful, who's supposed to be accommodating, of course, of her husband, who's supposed to push him. You need someone who would push you, who would, be there for you, who would, just be like your cheerleader, like someone who, a fan, you know what I mean? You can do life with, you're always comfortable with this person, you're respectful, all of those lovey-dovey things that makes, life okay. That when you're coming back home from, the troubles of the world, that you have a safe space in the house, a woman who has it, well put together. That's just what a good wife is, supporting you. But you see, you cannot ask for a good wife and then you're not a good husband.
Okay.
That is impossible. Because at the end of the day, people say that the woman you have at home is a reflection of the kind of husband you are.
Okay.
So I'll still say that a good wife, of course, we know what it is, what a good wife is, what a good person is, to be honest. Because a good wife will obviously stem from a good person. It must stem from that. Because if you're a bad person, you can never be anything good.
But again, now, with what you just said, Chente, do you agree that they are bad people?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Frankly, they are evil people. Yes, they're there to manipulate you.
I agree with Jess. They are horrible people out there. Horrible people.
But
Yeah, I agree
what?
with Jess. No,
But
there is no but. They are horrible people.
But if we claim that people act in a certain way based on what they have experienced or been informed.
Not even that, Franca. Some people, they're not built with empathy. They don't know
You don't get my point. So that's generalizing.
They don't even have conscience.
We're saying, so it's some. So
Some,
what about some people who actually have empathy but are in an environment where, you understand, they are negatively influenced?
And then they kind of succumb to it.
And they now succumb to it.
And now
It
you're not
happens.
a bad person, though.
No, you're a bad person because you act as a bad person. But guess what? See, if we say that it's possible to unlearn and relearn,
It's a choice.
if we say that that's possible, and then they're able to come into a community or an environment where they see something totally different,
Of course, they will change.
they will change. So that's why I asked. Based on that, that's why I asked, are there really bad people? Do you understand? People that would not... Is there anybody that will see something good and not change over time?
So, like you said, it's a choice.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna
Chinte.
say that.
Let me just say this, please. So, like you just said, our true nature, the way we were born, like the way our fabric is of good. To be honest, it's of good. But you see, when we were born into different environments, into different scenarios, somewhere they had their parents were not available, they were dumped, in motherless baby homes.
Sometimes even their parents are the ones that even instill those things in
Yes,
them.
their parents are the ones who abuse them, so there's a diverse scenario of how people are, born into this world. And from there, they start to, form their mindset, who they are, characters, behavior, and so much more. So, of course, they will be influenced negatively by their actions. But because our inherent nature is of good, they can good can still come out of them.
Thank you. That's what you just needed.
But it's by choice, yes.
Chente, you were going to say something.
Okay, so yes, right. I agree with what Jess said, right? But in the context of me saying that they are horrible people, is that there are people that truly know that their actions, their words, what they do is horrible, right? But they still decide to not change. That is what I mean by there are horrible people out there. There are people that know that what they are doing is intentionally hurting others, that them not even healing, right, is fine. A lot of us in this country came from trauma, right? We always say it. As a Nigerian, you are born into trauma. The fact that most of us here are doing the work, it means that we've seen how unhealed trauma can affect people around us. We've actually seen it. We've seen that if we don't heal, everybody's gonna bleed. We are also gonna bleed, right? Now, when I mean that they are people, I mean that there are people that know these things, but they are still not putting in the work to be their best self.
Okay. So, but back to, I just wanted to be clear, but it's possible to unlearn and relearn new things. So, when we said, so based on that, so that's why, because you said, except you marry a bad woman. Do you understand? Because I have seen where a bad woman is a wonderful woman to someone else. That's why I've seen where a terrible, somebody labeled as terrible is a fantastic lady somewhere else, which is why I asked that question. So, but in going back to good wife and husbands, this guy's definition of Femi, do you agree with what the guy said?
That
what's your definition of a good wife? So the general definition of a good wife from the male perspective is what that guy defined.
First of all, he countered someone. Right?
So he said no. So what he did was, he was just literally calling people's name. He said, Femi, your definition of a good wife is this,
submissive,
is somebody who will not, you will cheat on, she will not speak, you would abuse, you understand? He said all that. Yes. That's what the general male perception of a good wife.
Yeah.
But that means, if that's what you define as a good wife, then that means you want a mumu as a wife.
I agree.
You agree?
Yes, of course.
And then he also went further to say, a good wife is that person who holds you accountable.
Of course, I agree.
So that means you agree totally with what the guy has said.
Yes.
Good.
I agree with this definition.
Good.
So I'm gonna say that, right? I'm gonna say that I think that everybody's definition of a good wife, of a good partner, is relative to them. I'm not sure there's a standard that you say this person is. I'm not sure, because your good wife can be the worst person. For some people. Sorry?
No, Jess, do you agree?
No, I think you're just getting off course a little bit here. That's what I think he's going to. So yes, now let's say something. In life, every definition is to each individual, but there's a standard. There's something that you can coin out of. There's a foundation.
There's a foundation,
and which I think he stated the foundation.
That guy stated the foundation. So based on all the other, so any other thing you want to your add-ons, then you can add on. But generally, these things this guy stated are the foundations of what a good wife should be. Whatever it is you want, your wife should hold you accountable. That's
to be honest, right? I feel like he was defining what a good person should be, because you should be able to hold anybody accountable.
That's what I said. A good person is a good wife. Yeah.
You should be able to hold anybody as a good person, right? Not even a good wife, as a good colleague, as a good friend. You should be able to hold your friend accountable, right? As a good colleague, you should be able to hold your colleague. I think that is the definition of a good person, right? I don't think that's the definition of a good wife, in quotes.
Okay, so that's what we're saying, that
it stems from somewhere.
And that's a foundation. Okay. That's what every human's foundation should be. That.
Very true.
You understand? So, but he is saying that based on what he says is the definition of a good wife in 80% of the marriages you see in this part of the world, that you speak to her and she doesn't respond. You disrespect her and she says it's okay. She's not going to tell you why you're doing this. She's not going to challenge you and the rest of it. So you misbehave. You understand? and she doesn't say anything wrong with what you're doing.
That's not a good wife.
That's not, but he is saying that's the definition
Yes.
of 80%, you understand? And then guess what, Chente? I personally think that, yes, it's right to say that's the definition of a good wife. You understand? Why I say that is, if there's no relationship with someone, I really don't have to take your crap.
Of course.
Do you understand? Yes.
True.
Yes. If I don't have a relationship with you, it doesn't mean I'm a bad person, but I don't need to take your crap.
True.
And the honest truth is, I do not have to hold you accountable for anything because you're not my business. It's not my business to take care of you.
True.
That we're acquaintances, you understand, or colleagues somewhere, doesn't mean I have the right to do certain things. But with your husband, it is your duty to hold him accountable. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Chente, if I call you my friend, there's an extent to how much I can get involved in your life, except you let me do that.
Yeah.
So by the time you have
I
officially
agree.
become husband and wife, you have officially given her that the power to do that. So that's a definition of a good wife. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Yes. But again, Chente, I would ask you, why do people think that the definition that guy gave is supposed to be the definition of a good wife or a good person? So if I allow you to cheat me, it makes me a good person. Or it makes you selfish. What is it?
You see, yeah, let me look at it from the society. I know we've talked about this before. The society, especially in this part of the world, is more about dominance when it comes to the male
True.
gender and the female gender. So the idea is to suppress you as much as possible. And then if you, in any way, you're in conflict or you disagree, you're not supposed to disagree. You're just supposed to be passive. You're not supposed to in any way, even when it comes to just respect elders and the younger ones, you're not supposed to even express yourself. Even if you don't like what is happening, you're supposed to be quiet, especially women. So in this part of the world, the idea is we are not supposed, we are nothing in the sense that, how dare you, a woman, the
It
men
is
cannot,
patriarchy. Let's call it for what it is.
the men
It's
cannot understand
patriarchy
that you will
misogyny.
confront him. Like, how dare you confront? What did he say?
Chente,
Yeah.
it's patriarchy in what?
What?
It's patriarchy
It's
in what?
misogyny.
Yeah, misogyny. It is
Let's
misogyny.
call it what it is.
Yes, it is, because it is against women for the fact that because she is a
Yeah.
woman. That's the only reason why she's been treated this way, and that's why we are.
Yeah.
That's why you see that when we look at the ratio of that's why you see that our marriages are not even working, and even the ones that we. And I'd like to say something. Do you know that I see a lot of people when they say, "Oh, they've been married for 20 years," everyone is clapping. Oh, she's married for 30 years, everyone is clapping. Everyone 14 years. No, listen. The years in marriage is not. There's nothing scalable that says that it is a fantastic marriage. So we need to
True.
stop this, excuse my language, nonsense that we attribute to the years of marriage. She can be in prison.
Preach.
She can be in prison for
but guess
14
what? No.
years or
So
15
when-
years.
So when you're clapping,
Yes,
when
it's
you're
not.
clapping, when you're
does not make that
clapping
the marriage.
you have suffered. That clap. So
Exactly.
you phrase your mind.
True.
That clap is I give it to you.
You have suffered.
You have. What have you not done?
Really?
Really?
I used to think that, oh my God, lovely marriage.
How can you say that?
I swear to you. Just recently, I started thinking about it. Just
How
recently.
can you say that? Just
So
like
the 30
somebody
years
said
is
you've
like-
been in hell for 200 years.
Really?
But guess what? But do you understand? Because who says that it means you have, for you to be in marriage for that long,
So
do
then-
you know what you have been through? You guys have tolerated each other. You guys have taken a lot of nonsense. That means you are a very good person.
But that's not how to
But both
attain.
ways.
No, but
It's
that's
both
not,
ways. But guess what? It's both
But
ways.
that's not to attain that you're a good person. That doesn't attain that the marriage was
No,
great.
Setinta, if you're friends with somebody who is mean for 20 years, that means you
No,
can
there's something
live
I
with-
wanted
you-
there. Forget it. I wanted something. Forget that nonsense.
Forget that nonsense.
Forget it, Franca. There's something I want there. There's something that is there that
But the fact that you
I
can
want.
endure.
Forget about it. There's some things that when you have it, you endure anything.
Okay, you see?
it's,
So you
dependent,
see?
it's dependent on what you
What
want.
you want.
Forget
But
about
guess what?
that.
No, but there's
please.
some people that don't even want anything.
Franca, please.
No, there's some people that
Why would I want to take hell
That's you.
for 50 years, 30
That is
years?
you.
Why?
There's some people that say, you know what, make I just stay here, no one wahala. But
There
my
must be
point
something,
is,
Franca.
no, but seriously, my
Exactly.
point is that clap, eh?
I used to think like you've done a great job.
Is
You're
it-
a
But
loving
But you have
It's a
marriage.
done a
clap of
great. No, but
suffering.
guess what? Have you not done a
Wow.
great job, Jacinta? For 20 years?
No, but see, is marriage a scam really?
Oh, but you read it.
Yes, once a marriage is a scam.
You
Like,
know,
it's
that
it's
is
for
something that should be
oppression.
renewed every 5
But I
years.
totally agree.
You agree with that,
No, I
right?
totally agree. If I were to be married, and I would say this, I would have, if I can, I'll have a prenup. I'll have some sort of contract that will allow us to, renew our marriage vows. No joke. Because see, babe, I'm not here. And this is just one life I've got, mate. I don't intend on, suffering. Because you might never know this person until you marry them. And I see it 5 years down the line that,
How
oh
can
my
you
God, I'm
think
in
that?
hell. Huh?
How can you think that? You're saying, oh.
I used to think that was something of, it's a beautiful marriage. Because
but-
I'm thinking,
no,
like,
it's
if I'm going to
not
be there
about
for
the marriage,
25
about
years.
the person.
Oh, now I see. From a point of, you're suffering.
No,
and
it's
you're
not. No,
enduring.
no,
you
it's
endure.
not. Let's
that's
not use the word.
endure.
Yeah. So
Endure.
yes, you're tolerant.
But that should not be the case.
It's just like if Chente is tolerating me now as his friend, and you say, Chente, you're Franca's friend
Yeah.
for that long.
Well, that's how it looks like. My God, this is terrible.
How is it terrible?
No, like,
How is it terrible?
No,
Did you hear what I said?
yeah. Franca, leave me alone. No, but seriously.
Okay.
I think we need to revisit this whole
Revisit
idea
what?
of,
Chente, what do you? Chente, please talk. So what? So why do men think that that's the proper definition of a good wife, from a male
To
perspective?
be honest, as I said, right, it is misogyny, it is patriarchy, it is the downplaying of women as weak, as you should be second, as you shouldn't talk, as gender roles, as a woman, there are certain things that you should do. If your husband is doing this, you shouldn't do this. It is the looking down on women. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with my full chest.
Okay,
right?
so as much as
The
I want to
society-
agree, as much as I want to agree with you, this
Okay.
whole thing is not only for one. There are some times in marriages where it is the woman that is like the man.
but the percentage is very low. It's very low. Come on.
That
Franca.
what?
It's very low.
That's most times the women also play
Yeah, but
the male role.
the percentage is very
Yes,
low.
no,
It's very
yes,
low.
Franca,
There's nothing
yes.
substantial about it. We do agree, but not.
I'm
to the
saying
degree.
that the majority, I mean,
Yeah.
out of 100%, how many?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly go on a break. I think when we come back, we would have the second video ready. Okay.
Heartlines would be right back.
This season on Heartlines, we're committed to making a difference in people's lives. So Heartlines, in partnership with Reda Consult, is offering 12 free slots of counseling every quarter for people in need of professional counseling. Additionally, we're taking on 2 pro bono cases for individuals navigating a challenging divorce. To participate, please send an email to counsel@vedaconsult.com with your story. Our team will carefully review all submissions and will contact all the shortlisted candidates. Heartlines is live Mondays to Fridays at 10 p.m. So engage with us.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Okay, so please note that you can send a message to us on our WhatsApp number 081903844 384-663 or join in the conversation live by calling us on 070-2500-7749 or 070-142-42420. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Okay, so can we play the video, the second video now?
For how she reacts, but never stop to ask why she's reacting that way. And let's be real, some of you are out here poking the bear. then playing the victim when it roars. You shut down emotionally, you dismiss her concerns, you twist the narrative, and then when she finally snaps, you have the nerve to say, see, this is why I never open up. Nah, that's called reactive abuse. And then you act like her reaction is the real problem. It's not. And here's what's wild. Deep down, you don't even want this cycle. You want connection, but you sabotage trust. You want love, but you run from vulnerability. And instead of dealing with your own fear of intimacy, you make her out to be the villain. That's not leadership. That's cowardice. You can't keep lighting fires in your marriage and then crying about the smoke. You're just not responsible for her reaction. You're responsible for the environment that creates it. So, men up, own your part, do the work, and stop blaming her for the chaos that you set in motion.
So, Chente, did you watch that?
Yes, I did.
What's your take?
I think it is true.
I think.
It is
I
true.
think.
I actually think that it is very, very true because I think that there is, and that is manipulation, right? It's gaslighting, right? It is you doing something, and then when the person reacts, you're like, but this is how you are now acting. But you will forget that it is you that pushed the person to that point where the person had reacted like that. And you're holding them on to their reaction. But it's you that caused
So
it.
because of this is why they want a wife who would not question, hold them accountable. So you see the videos are a bit, you understand? This is, they don't want you to hold them accountable because, sorry?
No, keep going.
Okay, so, and then guess what? He mentioned something that you'll be shocked and that you're shocked that that's not even what they want. They don't want the gaslight. They don't want the fire burning. You know, he said that. But they don't know how to go about it. Because of what has been put into them, they feel that's the only way to go about it.
Yeah.
Trying to sort their own problem because you're the person who is not honest. You're the person who is not vulnerable. But guess what? You're putting it on the other person as the person's problem, which is one of the reasons why they don't want you to even voice out their concerns. They don't want you to hold them accountable because they can't even deal with it.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
And I would say something here. You know, I think one of the problems with marriages or even relationships is familiarization. What we call see finish.
Before you go further, see, in fact, yesterday on the show, I said something about see finish, and as I was leaving, somebody said, please, that see finish, it just has to be a full day conversation. That see finish,
I'm telling you,
has to be a full day conversation because the way they see people finish. So please expatiate on see finish.
That is a major problem in relationship and marriages. Now let's look at it this way: when you meet a woman or a man, in the beginning you're very cautious with your words.
Please, I can't hear you.
In the beginning, you're very cautious with your words. You don't want them to even know that you snap. You're very well put together. Let's be honest. During that very, early stage, you're making sure that, before you even type, when you type, you clean it off again and retype it, just to make sure you're not getting on anyone's nerves. But then what happens down the line?
Once you marry, bam, you don't padlock the gates.
Do you understand? Not even
So
marriage,
I
even
think
relationship-wise,
okay.
When you guys start doing the things you're not supposed to be doing
Like
and
what?
spending time with one another, and all of a sudden,
What are those things,
What are those you're not
please?
supposed to
Say
do?
it.
please, I'm not your
Uh-huh.
teacher.
She said she's not your teacher, Chente.
I will not teach you what the Lord forbids. So what am I trying to say? So
Once they start doing the things they're not supposed to do,
yeah, and then they think that maybe you're falling for them. It could be
or they've
both
gotten
ways.
comfortable.
Or you're either maybe wanting to see them all the time. Before you know it, there's no more respect. There's no more, there's no more empathy. There's no thinking about how the other person would feel. It's all about control. The support starts to, before you know, you find yourself like, how did I get into this? What happened? But then I'll ask, then this is my question. Why is it that in the beginning, you took your time to make sure everything went well?
In fact, I had a conversation.
Do you understand? You knew exactly what you were doing.
Yes.
But now you know what you're doing
let me
too.
explain to you. So,
Okay.
The first person who responded to that message I dropped called me. And he said he's actually a coach. And he said he was speaking to a guy. And the guy said, when we meet them, we deceive them.
Yes.
I'm telling you what they said. We just continue to deceive them. We just continue to lie to them. We deceive them to make them believe this is what the picture. We don't show them the real picture until we get them, and then once they are in, bam, we show. That's what I did. He said, bam, we show them the true picture of what it is.
Now let me ask you a question. So they do this. They meet you. They deceive you. Then they show you the true picture, and then they marry you.
Yes.
So what is it then?
The marriage has ended now.
No. The marriage has ended now.
Yes, the marriage
But
has
let's be
ended
honest
now.
here. That person, what he said, I think 80% of men,
Yes,
they do this.
So that marriage has ended because maybe the wife is
Aware,
self-aware, and you understand. So yes, it happens, and then so if you enable it,
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was going to. Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to. And that's why I'm still going to with 30 years in marriage, 15 years in marriage. It means you've been enabling it.
yes, now that's what we're saying.
You've been enabling
Are you
it.
serious? 30 years?
Yes, you've been driving that van, that rusty ass, excuse my language, van. Maybe with another, baggage behind, an extra, room of nonsense. But you can see. So you imagine the foundation of the marriage was on deceit. Because that's what the man, I can bet you, he's been doing all the time. I just decides, okay, who's available, let me marry you.
So it's possible that he's even been doing it, but he cared about hiding it. So he was hiding it very well. And then when you get married,
I'm gonna say something I'm gonna to say something to that. I'm gonna say that I think that a lot of people, they are not deliberate. Like sometimes they overlook signs. Somebody that would disrespect you, it will show from when you are dating them. Wait. Let me land, right? Because, right, see finish is inevitable. This is the person that you're gonna marry, right? So you will see them finish. But what people need to learn, or what people need to even be taking note of is, regardless of how I'm unveiling myself to this person stage by stage, does this person respect me? I think that somebody that would disrespect you, somebody that you would know, you will start seeing signs. Some of us overlook some of those signs.
Have they played you for one night before?
You will know, you will see.
You've not seen con artists.
Even if it's not Burgundy, it will be
Sweetheart,
at least a little
have they played you for one night before?
Chente, have you seen con artists? People who that's their job. That is who they are. Calculated, well planned.
Chente, you don't understand.
Every word.
Those people will love you like...
Oh, silly.
They will love you silly. You will not have one reason to complain.
Yes.
Hey.
Silly. Before you cry.
Before you...
There are flowers by your bed.
Chente,
before you say anything.
Chente,
everything you want is available.
Pray that your first girlfriend doesn't do you for one night.
Franca, is every time that we come here now that you be exposing me.
No, Chente,
what did I do to deserve this first
Chente,
girlfriend?
I have personally taken it upon myself to get you a girlfriend.
Wow. I want to see how that actually goes.
No, but to be honest, yeah. So are we not saying that it's all a game?
But Jacinta,
and it's all a game of chess? To be honest, because if that's how it is, people are just out there trying to deceive.
But in all honesty, it's not a gender thing. Because I have seen where girls also play the game and pretend to get married.
But of course. But you know that naturally now we're emotional beings. So we always carry last most of the time. Men are logical, and once you're thinking from your prefrontal cortex, you will win the game all the time. Most of the time.
See, that's why I try as much as possible not to think about it as a male or female thing. I have seen where girl.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, it's not in our nature. Of course, there are women out there doing it.
What is not in your nature?
It's not in our nature.
Jacinta,
we are women. Our fabric is not to play games.
Chente, do you agree?
No, I'm telling you.
I don't agree. You see this one that Jacinta.
Who we are.
Jacinta,
English
I don't.
now.
Anytime that lie, don't mind her more. She's speaking English now. Now lie one lie.
Now, see, so, yeah.
What is wrong
Chente,
with
you know
you?
this girl. When she start to speak all this,
I know that every time she starts speaking big English, I know that she wants to drop one.
you want to
I
drop
know.
one. She wants to drop one fabu. Jacinta,
Frank,
stop it.
How?
Stop it. No, but Jacinta, seriously, I do not agree. Omo, just the way men are like real con artists, you need to see women display. Please don't even, Jacinta, you have to see, just speak for yourself. Like, speak for yourself.
I think we need to go and, we need to go and upgrade. We need to.
No, yeah, so Jacinta, you know why it feels off for you? Because you wear your expression.
Yeah.
You don't think you need to lie about or pretend about how you feel.
Yeah.
That's what you feel. But there are why do they say women even fake orgasm?
They fake orgasm?
Huh?
You don't have to if you don't get there. Just you don't have to,
But
fake
say
it.
that's you. Chente, didn't we have it? Chente, I think you were on that show.
Yes, we did.
What are you saying?
Yes, I was there.
But
Yes.
for what reason? What exactly is she trying to prove?
Chente, please answer her.
So, like, I think that a lot of people do it to please men in one way or the other.
Oh, that's the reason. Okay, I'm not in the game of pleasing. I don't people please
Hello?
in any way. Yeah, I don't people please in any way. I'll say it again.
So please,
Why would I want
maybe,
fake orgasm?
but that's what people do to make you feel, oh, you're
So you're
there.
saying that people actually, women are in this
Yes.
game. Okay, good.
So in that one, Seb, I think men are logical, but pretense.
Yeah.
Give it to the women.
Okay, yes, when you say pretense, I would say okay because because they enable
They
the bad
like,
marriage.
they
Yes.
can do it more than
Yes.
the
Okay,
men.
in that aspect.
Even enabling might not be pretending. They pretend say you're
yeah,
happy.
that's what I'm saying. In that aspect, yes, I would agree.
But even pretending that you understand
That the marriage is okay.
Okay, they pretend a lot.
I wasn't looking at it from that angle. I was looking at it from the angle of when
Once
you meet
can
one
pretend,
another.
Once you can pretend to be happy, my darling, you can act any film. When you can pretend to cry. Maybe did you hear that part where they said for you to be a good actress, you should know how to cry?
Yeah.
Okay. You women who cry past now, man. I think that's one of the reasons I even hate to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like it not feels like you're faking it or something.
No, I just feel that you're weak, but you should cry.
No. When I mean cry, not cry. I can cry when I'm feeling bad, but not cry. Say I did quarrel with my boyfriend.
Oh. Cry. Why should anyway?
You never see. Chente, please.
It's like okay, mama, like pity me kind of thing. I'm so sorry.
Chente, you have female friends. Do they cry?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do they cry?
Yes,
Cry for
they
what
do,
purpose?
yeah.
You need to understand.
Why are they crying? So don't they fake the cry sometimes?
I don't. So I don't know. Maybe it's with their boyfriends that they do, but I've not seen anybody fake.
No, but it happens. When you're crying.
Yeah, it does.
But seriously, when you're having a problem, you start to cry. So that people will have message, so that the person is having pity on
attention.
you.
To seek some
attention.
You did that to me. Meanwhile, you they lie.
Yeah.
Woman, where your husband catch you, go cheat. You think I did that?
Yeah, I told you that
It's true,
story.
it's true.
There's a story I told you. I told you how I used to be when I was younger.
Exactly. But you see, that's the thing. Not everybody is like you. It's like, me? Oh, so you just hurt me. Chente, you say it's true. Why?
It's true now.
But you say you have not seen anybody cry now. So how do you say it's true?
But no, I've not seen anybody cry. Yes, I did not know. I grew up with a lot of ladies around me. Now.
You say you grew up with, so that means you have seen it happen.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen it happen. You asked about my friends. I've not seen it, but I've seen a lot of ladies do it to get attention. Yes.
So it happens. So yeah, to get attention, to do so they fake it. So it's not about, like, going back to what we're talking about. It's not about the guy, really. It's not just the guy. So everybody is acting. In fact, everybody is acting in marriage. It's a script for everybody.
But I find it really difficult. I find it really, really difficult to live a scripted life. I don't know. I can't. Frank, I can't. Like, you know me already. I wear my expression on my face. If something's upsetting me, you already start to see it.
But Jacinta, that's why they so because they know women can actually, they call it endure. Endure is pretend.
You see, you can endure, but
Jacinta,
yeah,
when you're
endurance.
when you're enjoying something, you're telling yourself it's not getting to you. You're taking the pain.
Yeah,
And
No,
you're
no,
true.
no,
acting
no,
and
no,
making it look like
no.
it's nothing to you.
I
That's
think
what.
it's different. No, no. I think endurance is different from pretending. Endure doesn't mean that you are trying to say that it is not hurting you. Some people, it actually hurts them. It does hurt them,
So why,
right?
if something is hurting you, why can't you wear the expression on your face?
Maybe they don't know how
Some
to
of the
do
times
it.
is
Yeah.
sometimes it might be training, like you've been trained to take it in, to
So you
Yeah.
have been trained to
not
take it in.
act.
What is when you have been trained to take something? Is that not force?
No. Sometimes it's just even who they are. They just
No,
don't know
Jacinta,
how
you don't get
to.
my
True,
point. So
exactly.
listen, you don't get my point. Let me explain. So when something starts, scenario, marriage, when something starts, it's paining you, and they keep telling you, it's not everything you complain about.
Yeah.
It's not everything you complain
You
about.
pick
Even
your
when they
battles.
beat you, they'll tell you pick your battles. Even as children, when they beat you, it's not everything. Because the first thing that happens to you is like when you express, you're crying, you're reacting to it. The minute you stop to react, you're telling yourself something.
Of course, yes.
Do you understand? And guess whether you like it or
Yeah.
not, even if I want to pretend, if I'm pretending, if I'm acting a movie, do you understand? I don't like what I'm doing. But because of what I hear, because I need to put up a face or a front, I will act in a certain way.
Okay.
So does it not relate?
So pretense and endurance in that context, it does relate. It does relate because now I'm having to endure this pain that I know that is there. I can feel it inside of me,
They will get better.
and I have to now pretend that nothing is happening. I'm
Yes,
okay.
so even in friendship, when you say
Yeah.
act as if it's not getting to you,
Yeah.
when they tell you that if somebody is trying to get at you, act as if it's
And so men are saying that to be a good wife, you have to endure and pretend.
Yes.
As if everything's okay.
yes. And then by the time they are done, so there is always a phase, you understand? They'll tell you it's midlife crisis.
Yeah.
They will do those things, you understand? So by the time they get old, they will stop it. That's when you start enjoying. Meanwhile, they've wasted their...
That's what they say.
Listen, why you asking me, that's what they say. It's a general saying everywhere. I've been chanting, am I lying?
Yeah, it's true.
No.
I agree.
So, but seriously, they will
Wait,
tell
so
you...
they tell you that when you're getting married, they
So,
advise. I'm not
it's
married
like,
now, so they advise you.
So it's not that they will call you and tell you. In the case of you're already married, they won't tell you these things when you're getting married. They'll just tell you that, oh, it's not everything you complain about.
That you enjoy him when he's old.
No, you don't get. Listen, it's not everything you complain about. As a woman, you're the one who holds the home. You just ignore a lot of things. It's not everything
Try
you
to
complain
accommodate all
about.
of
Trying
these
to
things.
accommodate all these things.
He will
Do you
not
understand?
cheat, at least when, if he gets to a certain age, he's going to stop.
It's going to stop cheating.
So this is just allowing bad behavior. That's also what it is.
Exactly.
What have we been saying since? Do you get my point? So that's when they now start to tell you. So when you have issues and maybe somebody's coming to talk about the issues you guys have had, they're not like, just endure. Very soon, he'll be staying with you at home. He won't have where to go to.
Exactly.
Yeah, so very soon, both of you will be enjoying yourself.
He no go get strength to the sit up and down.
This one is not a human being. Okay, what did you say? You won't have what?
I say he no go get strength to the cheat up and down.
Not that, because the thing is dead, maybe.
Is that what the thing is dead, maybe?
Yeah. So now, because you're dead ass now. That's when you not be at home with me. Oh my God.
So you understand what the narrative is, but back to, so really, what are we saying should be the ideal definition of a good wife? Chente.
I have an issue with this question, right? I have an issue with this question, so I'll let Jess take off.
No. I understand what you said. You have an issue with
Because,
the question.
yeah, it says good
initially
person.
you said it's relative.
Yeah.
So, but
Yes.
like we said, there's a foundation. But to you, as a man, what's your definition of a good wife?
I think, first of all, it is a good person. Like, be a good person. Stand up for yourself. Speak up for yourself, right? If something doesn't sit well with you, say it. You're not here to endure. You're not here to try to put up with me. If working, take your leave. If it's not working and you know that you cannot handle it, take your leave. You don't have to die in this, right? And I'm saying this also from a place of pain because I've watched a lot of people in marriages lose themselves just because of their holding on to a thread of, oh my God, the future, as at this time your children will be grown, they'll be providing all of these things for you. And it pains me because those women have suffered all of their lives. So it is not a do or die affair. We are going to work together to build this. But if at any point you feel like this is, don't be looking at our future. I feel, don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself because of somebody. Don't lose yourself because of
Chintu, you're
anything.
very emotional about it now.
I
The way you're
am.
speaking, yes. So what I'm saying is, Chintu, for you, because you know yourself, you know what you're
Mm-hmm.
capable of doing, you know how you would want to treat your wife. So based on your personality, don't talk about, you understand, don't generalize it.
No,
Based
yeah.
on your personality and what you think you would do or know you would do, you understand, to the person you call your wife, what kind of wife would you want?
I just said it right. I want somebody that speaks up for herself, that has a mind of her own,
Okay?
has a mind of her own, that speaks up for herself. That when something doesn't sit well, say it. You're not here to die in this. Say it. If you want something, you say it. If something is not working for you, you say it. We are in this together. We are doing this partnership together. That is what I want.
Okay, that's what
Genti,
you
I don't think like what you just said is not what, like, are you a guy? No, to be honest with you, like, if truly what you're saying is what you would provide in your home, then I applaud you.
Okay, so
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
so
Because if you're going to,
if you go through the messages, somebody said, the guy who said that people should be marriage should be the way Christ, the relationship between
Christ in the
Christ and his
church,
church.
yes, which
So
is
I
the
asked
love.
him,
Okay.
is that what you practice in your own home? Because a lot of people do not practice
What they preach. I saw that.
You saw that?
Yes.
And then he went and said he saw his father act in a certain way, and so he intentionally walked and talked, you understand,
Yes.
to get to where he is right
Unlearned
now.
and
He
learned.
exactly, because
Yeah.
he saw he was very intentional.
Yeah.
So why I say that is, I think a lot of men have chosen to be the few good ones. Do you understand? Who will do things by the book.
Yeah.
Do you get my point? And the truth is, Sajo is not here, but he's one of those people that will tell you, Sajo, he understands that if my home is not at peace, then there's no, do you understand? He doesn't believe, and he's a divorce lawyer, but he doesn't believe in divorce. So he knows how to, he goes around it in a different, so you can be yourself. You don't have to lose yourself. You can still be that person. You can still be the man. You understand?
Yeah.
But your home is intact. The first guy who responded to this thing said, I'm always telling my wife. He mentioned the story that the wife lost her sister. And guess why? Because she was in a bad marriage. She just,
Wow.
she was in a bad marriage. It wasn't, they were living in the same house, but it wasn't, they were just cohabiting. And then she had, a child or something. And they kept asking her to leave, but she kept saying, I'm here because of my child, I'm here because of her child. She was going to the hospital, but the man did not know that they're living in the same house, but separate lives. So she used to go to the hospital to complain, and they told her, you are stressed up, you're stressed out. She just slumped in the house. Before they rushed her, by the time they rushed her, before the man even knew what was going on and everything, she passed on. And the question was, who will look after that child?
Yeah.
That you refused to, that you kept on saying that it is because of that child.
I'm here because of that child.
Who is going to look after that child now? Is it not that same man?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And so he mentioned that.
Another woman.
Yes. So he mentioned that he tells his wife, he says, I'm a good man. He's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? He's intentional. He says, I'm a good man. So I tell my wife, you need to live your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes go out and have a drink. It's not about me and the children. Because I go out and I have fun.
Yeah.
I go out with my friends. Do you understand?
Franca, these
I
men are very scarce. Most men out there, they are traumatized. They have ego problems.
So you know what? What the problem is? This thing is not preached. You see, Nigerians tend to follow the trend.
Yeah.
You understand? So as much as we're saying a lot of marriages would break, I'm sure a lot of men do not want their marriages to break as well.
Of course.
So they are becoming intentional. How many men used to go for therapy before? Now the numbers are increasing.
Yes, they are.
So the more we preach about this, the more we speak about this, the more we make people know that it is even the people who are vulnerable that we want to be with.
Yeah.
Not to take advantage of them, but to just understand that, this is what works for us. We have less than 1 minute. Jacinta, your last words.
I'll just say that, being a wife is not a sacrifice. And when I say, I know we're supposed to sacrifice for one another, but you're not supposed to lose yourself for any reason. Because you cannot pour out of an empty cup at the end of the day. You need to love yourself before you can love others. If you're not happy, you cannot be happy in your marriage. You can't be happy, you cannot give that which you are in the fullness of, who you are. And men as well. You need to give, you need to sometimes stop all these games. Like, to what end? To what end, So I just don't want to be emotional, I just want to leave it there, to be honest.
Chete, you want to say something before we go?
As I already said, right, I think that this would have to start with a lot of intentional work, because if you don't know what you truly deserve, you're going to settle for anything and everything. Anything that comes your way and give you a little bit of attention, you're going to jump and think that you truly deserve it, right? Okay. So go and do the work. Go for therapy. Do the work. Know what you truly deserve. So that when somebody gives you crumbs, you will know that you are best not being here. That
I deserve better.
That I deserve better and I deserve more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or it's even okay for you to even be single than be with somebody.
Than be married and be unhappy.
Chete is doing like this.
Yes.
Doing like this. They're
I
taking your
deserve
volume away.
better.
I deserve better.
I deserve better.
Okay, so we see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.